Hey guys, Adrian here, and welcome to DojoCast, episode 13 of the DojoCast CES. Hey guys, I'm your host, Kiguru, or Adrian, and I'm here for you guys today to bring you your latest news in this week. Now, this week is a special week. It's a big week. I know we haven't got an episode in a while since the holidays. So, since the holidays, I haven't got an episode besides what I did with Josh, Week 493, out, and that was because of the whole holiday break and everything like that. Like New Year's and Christmas and all that. But it's a special week this week. Not a huge amount of stories, but some big topics. And that's dealing mainly with CES 2011, the International Consumer Electronics Show is what CES stands for. It's one of the big conferences out there in the technology world. And you're actually going to see me scrolling through the site right here at cesweb.org, where you can get some more information about CES. It's actually going on right now. As I record this podcast, and there's it's basically a conference, and I actually knocked the mic there a little bit, sorry, with a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of companies and tech, mainly obviously technology, electronics companies featuring their products. You have seminars and lectures, like of people launching new products, talking about new technology to come, all that stuff that's already available, from 3D TVs, wireless, HD content, monitors with barely any, bezel that are, super thin monitors. All that stuff. There's a lot of different innovation going on at CES, and I can talk a little bit about that. So, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to CNET. Over at ces.cnet.com, they're doing a coverage of CES. I wish, it would be something I would love to go to a conference if I was in the States. But CNET actually has a list of the best of CES 2011 awards. So if you want to check out their best of list, just some to name off, stuff they've been seeing and covering over at CES. They have the best of show award, and that is the Motorola Xoom, the XOOM, I believe it's pronounced Zoom. Unless I'm pronouncing it wrong. Basically, it boasts that has more features than an iPad. Will run the new versions of Google's Android OS, and you'll be seeing this in the video. Some other stuff: the People's Voice Award, the Razer Switchblade. It's a gaming netbook with a future-like bizarre concept design. It's a really cool design. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this. This is the Razer. Razer is a gaming company, and you can see they have a really tricked out kind of LED backlit keyboard. For gaming, kind of those macros and all that. It's clamshell design, and it's a really unique device, so you can check that out. This is one of those futuristic gaming laptops. Some other things in car tech, they talked about the new telematics service that was launched, Casio Trix, which is one by design, digital imaging, the Sony Handycam HDR PJ series, I should say, gaming, the Nintendo DS. Portable took obviously the portable market. Home theater, the Samsung BD D7000. PCs and laptops, the Intel Sandy Bridge chips, which are the Core i7 models, were talked about and officially unveiled over at the conference. Some other stuff, prototypes, the prototype category, the Toshiba 3D eyeglass free prototype. So you don't need to put those glasses that most people, you see people in 3D when they're wearing that. It's kind of kills the experience, but glasses free 3D experience. Some other stuff, social or storage and networking, the IO Safe Rugged Portable, which is an extreme demonstration of the external hard drive that, rugged portable hard drives that can just show you how tough that device is, withstanding blast and, falls and, being thrown off roofs and all of that. You can check out more here. Some other categories they have from cell phones and all of that over at, again, ces.cnet.com. They also have some other coverage on the latest news and latest, what's going on at CNET and what people are talking about, companies are covering, all of that. So for live, you can even go there for live coverage. They have what's being announced and all of that over, again, at ces.cnet.com. All right, so that was the big news, CES. I do want to move in some news, and what's going out there into the actual press and all that. And a big rumor going on that could be possibly talked about is the iPhone 4, I should say. And I actually have my iPhone 4 here. It's not all together, but hey, I don't know if you guys saw my last video, but I have repaired my iPhone 4 screen. Everything's not set and done yet. As you can see, I have not yet screwed everything back in. That's the actual, if you've never seen it inside of the iPhone 4, that's what it looks like once you remove all the screws. And you can just actually slide this back plate off. So I had to replace my cracked screen, but again, I ramble a little bit. The iPhone could be set to be launched Tuesday from Verizon. That would be 1/11/11. It's sent to, they're said to be talking about the possible iPhone being launched on Verizon, which has been a rumor that's been going around, around for a while, and people kind of instigate that, with a lot of rumors of showing how the iPhone has made some, chipset changements and all of that, and it's kind of 1/11/11, being a specific date. And they're having the event, I believe, at the Lincoln Center. But some people are saying that, Wall Street Journal reported, I believe, that an unnamed source confirmed that the press conference about the Verizon iPhone and All Things Digital said it was heard from an unnamed source as well. I believe, there's a lot of rumors flying around, especially for Apple, but this is mainly for Verizon, that they may be receiving the iPhone, which will be a huge thing just because, a lot of people hate the AT&T network. A lot of people have, gripes with it, whether, I've never used AT&T, to be honest. I'm a SoftBank carrier with my iPhone in Japan. But, complaints about the slow network and all the people in the network, prices, all of that. But the current iPhone right now, it's only built for GSM. So this means they have to really, Verizon's network is based on CDMA, so they have to make some changes within the phone itself, which is to be able to use like on the, I think, the Verizon's 4G network, or the I think it's called LTE, or long-term evolution technology. So this means faster connection. I'm sure obviously faster speeds when downloading apps and making calls on Verizon. I'm sure less drop signal and all of that. But a lot of people love Verizon. Some people just want to get away from AT&T, and it's the only reason they don't buy the iPhone is because it may be on AT&T. And with this, a lot of you Verizon users may be able to upgrade to your first iPhone, right? So that's an interesting rumor. There's a lot of Apple news in today's show, or a lot of rumors, I should say. So let's get that next story of Apple out of the way. If you go over to TechCrunch.com, and an interesting article was written there talking about the revenue of Facebook, comparing it to the revenue of Apple, and the whole, $50 billion is pretty cool type thing, but what about $300 billion? So Apple, going through some of the products that they already, list, obviously, like I said, the iPhone, I have my iPad somewhere around here, I guess it's in my bag, actually. The iPad's been a huge thing. The iPhone, revolutionized the cell phone market. iPad, the tablet market, starting to take up by storm. Obviously, the iPods, if I have any of, I don't have it. Oh yeah, my iPod Shuffle right here. So all the generations of iPods have really took over the music career. But obviously they have a huge amounts of revenue being flown in from different markets and different categories. So it's not surprising to see that $50 billion is obviously a great amount of money for Facebook. But for Apple hit the $300 billion cap market milestone today after their stock surged 2% to open 2011. So that makes them the second public company with such a high value, other than I think ExxonMobil is the other one they said in the list. They have a graph there, you can check it out as well. Apple obviously has had a very impressive 2010. A year ago they were the fifth most valuable here. It says, the article says. Now they're at the second. When they're fifth place, they only had a $213 billion market cap. Now they're up to $300 billion. So if you're into your stats, you're looking into your numbers and all of that, do check out this article. Really, really interesting to see the revenue flow of Apple. And this highly has to do with not only the iPhone 4s that were released, the iPads are released, the App Store market, all of this stuff has really just generated Apple a huge, huge revenue. And along with, of course, the sales of the Mac products like the iMacs, the MacBook Pros, and the Mac Minis, and all of those. But alright, so that is some news over at TechCrunch. Alright, so moving on to our next article, dealing with the whole 2011. It is 2011. I try to do some tips for you guys. And if you go over to youtube.com/digitaldojos, I'm going to try and get that link up. You can actually see a video done by myself and Josh, or We493, who was on the podcast last week. We did a 16-minute video on our top 5 tips for technology 2011. Kind of elaborated on stuff we thought you should pick up in 2011. We talked about, cleaning out your system, learning to program, all this cool stuff. Our top 5 tips, something you should pick up during the year of 2011. So do check that out. But along with that list, I saw an interesting one over at Mashable, for Mashable's technology section, the 40 plus things you need to watch in 2011. So they have this nice chart here, and they have some stuff here that you can go down, and some interesting graphics. So 10 websites to watch, they say, in 2011. Could be sites like Quora, Diaspora, which is the kind of like the Facebook clone that people want to make, Drupal, Grooveshark, Foursquare. Those are sites they say are one of the top 10s you should start to watch in the year of 2011. They have some graphs here. Apps to watch, so applications. I believe these are iOS apps as well as maybe Android apps. But the daily ge.tt. So I guess that's Get Glue, Blizzy, Flipboard, which is a big one for news, Kick, Shopkick, Path, Instagram, which is a big photo app, and GroupMe. So those are some apps you should watch out. 5 web technology trends to watch. And if you're watching the video version of this podcast over at iTunes or at youtube.com/digitaldojos, you'll be able to see the actual list here. The jQuery mobile, hardware accelerated browser, NoSQL databases, real-time click stream sharing, etc. And it goes on. I'm going to, one more category here. 8 gadgets to watch. The key, I guess, wireless power, the Nintendo 3DS, the Android-powered tablets, the smart shopping carts, the Palm Pad, the Notion Ink Atom, and the NFC-enabled phones, along with the PlayStation phone. So there's some other categories here, 8 tech companies to watch, and so forth. So you can check this out. This is over at Mashable.com. Some interesting articles here, and includes graphics, and you can click on each individual category to go in for more detail, or you can click the actual app itself, or whatever is in the drop down for more detail. All right, and some other rumored news going on again. Sorry, back to the Apple train. I believe this is the last, or actually 2 more stories. This is a big Apple week, I guess. I should have mentioned this earlier, but with the rumors, Kevin Rose posted this on his blog. It's been all over the internet from different people, even at CES. The iPad 2 hardware is allegedly from Apple, was spotted at CES. So there was a company, a Chinese manufacturer, GoPod Mobile's booth, that is confirmed that they had photos of iPad 2. There's some pictures here. It's not confirmed yet. It kind of looks. It doesn't look something like what Apple would make. It does look simplistic, but at the same time, it's a prototype. So I would guess if there was something that was sent out, it's not complete. It's much more thinner than the original iPad. It has a back-facing camera and a front-facing camera with new holes for speakers. It's much more thinner in the picture. It looks keeps that aluminum matte design type thing. I'm thinking anything in the iPad 2, you're gonna see a high resolution display. You're gonna see improved. Obviously, you're gonna see that both cameras are either front facing. I would think they're gonna input for FaceTime, or rear, but I'm not sure if a lot of people would actually use the rear camera on the iPad. You're for sure gonna see an increased processor and RAM for faster data. Maybe possible upgrades in storage, so that may be something you may see there as well, but definitely something you want to look forward to. I believe Kevin Rose on his blog talking about February 2nd, around that date, is a date that Apple may talk about the whole new Apple iPad 2. So if you're thinking about buying an iPad, highly recommend you hold off just until the rumors kind of sneak out. February passes, if nothing happens, go ahead and, you can probably go for an iPad. But as of right now, I still have my first generation iPad. I was thinking about selling it, so I had a buyer who wanted to buy it, but I'm not sure yet. I mean, because I want to get me an iMac, and then I'll probably be getting the iPad 2 version 2, I should say, just because it's coming out soon, hopefully, according to the rumors anyway. So you can see the pictures here acquired at CES from the booth. They have some stuff comparing it to some stuff. You can see the back and the side panel as well, along with all the buttons and features and all that if you're in the video edition. Or you can always go to podcast.digitaldojos.com and look in the show notes, podcast notes, for links to these stories. All right, so let's go into another and last Apple story. I also covered this, again, a shameless plug, at youtube.com/LakerCoolman, my main channel. Apple has over 1 million apps downloaded from the new Mac App Store in one day. Over 1 million apps downloaded. So if you don't know what this is, if you're on OS 10 Snow Leopard, go into the Apple, hit, check for updates. You'll get a new update for Mac OS 10. I think it's like something 6.6. And you get the new Mac App Store, which basically a lot of people thought was a bad idea, but this unifies the whole iOS platform, your iPhone, iPad, and Mac OS 10 with one big app store across different mobile platforms, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, to get apps easily in one place. This unifies a place, a center of place to get apps. You don't have to worry about, getting the wrong version, or an outdated version, possibly. You may be afraid, you don't trust the website, you think it's a virus or spyware. Apple's obviously going to verify only approved apps. They're going to put there may be free or paid. There's going to be prices. You're going to have an all-in-one center to update your apps, just like you would on your iPhone. So you're going to know when all your apps are out of date or need a new patch, etc. And just easy, simple, quick interface to buy, simple to look around, simple to see screenshots. It's just that friendly user face you're used to in the App Store will be available now on the Mac App Store. So I just want to talk about that quickly. But with that, if you want to see some 10 must-have apps, I decided to throw this in as a bonus. 10 must-have apps for the Mac App Store by Mashable. Pixelmator is one of them. They go over some other ones like Sketchbook Pro, Clippy, Twitter for free, which is SoundCloud and some other stuff. So basically, you have a new Mac, you want new apps installed, go ahead and install the Mac App Store, check it out, and see what you may like. There's a lot of free apps, there's a lot of paid apps. You never know what you may like, so do check it out. And obviously, since you're on an actual Mac, you're gonna expect these software to be much more expensive compared to your original 99 cents games and stuff like that. All right. And going to the counterpart there, Microsoft. Microsoft Surface is now thinner, smarter, and cheaper. You remember where the Surface was? It's kind of that cool table that they laid out. It had hand recognition technology, or I should say multi-touch technology, and it can recognize fingerprints, all that crazy stuff. You can put a credit card on there, and then take the bill, and you kind of split it different ways. You can throw your phone on there, and the pictures would fan out. Really, really cool futuristic technology that was kind of showed in a promo long ago, or not too long ago. But they showed off the new version of Surface. It's a tablet touch computer, to describe it at best. This was also at CES on Wednesday. It's basically it's a miniaturized version of what they had on the old one. It's basically a Surface table, a glass table with a multi-touch top with multiple, I should say that, I guess cameras pointed up to sense your touch underneath the glass surface. So they added, I believe, more cameras in a smaller, condensed version. It's thinner. It's smarter, like I said. It can do, much more stuff with the whole multi-touch, and they have a demo showing, the technology and how they can, recognize, obviously, the 10 fingers and all of that, and how it should be replacing in places like, bars, kiosks, other places developers might need it, and dream of. So it's going to be much more cheaper, they say. They don't have a set price, but obviously this is for more business-like stuff and, public places. Kind of a cool thing to play around with. So do check it out. This is the update for the Microsoft Surface. Again, thinner, smarter, and cheaper. Very, very interesting. So you may want to check that out over at Mashable.com. All right, guys. Let me see. I don't think I have anything else for you because I just did want to talk a lot about the whole CES thing. So CES. A lot of stuff for you guys to check out there. You can check out coverage from Twit. You can check out coverage from CNET. I wish I can give you coverage. I'm going to try and get some coverage over at digitaldojos.com. But, what am I really looking forward to the 2011 year, the whole CES? Obviously, the whole 3D technology has been a big thing, but I really don't know if that's really my thing, the whole 3D generation. There's been trying to push that. But there's a lot of cool technology I saw out there on some coverage. Like wireless charging. I like to see that. It's always great. When you can cut the cords and stuff, I'd love to see, stuff go more wireless, more mainstream, and having to deal with less clutter and all that stuff that makes life easier and productivity and apps like that. When you lose your iPhone or something, there's some pretty cool technology out there along with solar charging and all of that. That's been really, really cool and been featured over at CES. So maybe something you may want to check out. So, yeah, let me think. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I need to mention for you guys. I'd just love to hear your feedback. You can email us, digitaldojos@gmail.com, for your feedback on the show. I know it's a new year. I'm going to try and get some increases in video quality, some, upgrades in equipment, and obviously try and clean up around here so you guys don't have to look at the mess behind me. Other than that, I forgot to get a pick for you guys today, but I do have an actual hardware pick because I have all these mouses set up here. But I actually wanted to talk about a mouse I recently reviewed over at, again, it's our youtube.com/digitaldojos, and that's my MX Anywhere mouse. So this is actually going to be my pick for today, just because I looked down on it, and I remember I just got done with the review, and I really, really love this mouse. It's originally $80. I'm going to say that's kind of pricey. You can probably get it, give or take, 60 or cheaper. I got it on a 50% off sale for $40, so it was a pretty good deal. I thought I'd take advantage of it. This Anywhere MX mouse is great if you're a traveler, a heavy desktop user, you move around a lot, you may switch to laptop, stuff like that. It uses what's called a unifying receiver. So this unifying receiver symbol, you can see right there. It's a technology made by Logitech where it's basically kind of like your regular USB receiver that plugs into your USB port. It's tiny, very, very tiny. But instead, you can use it with multiple devices. You can pair up different mouses. So let's say this mouse here uses the unifying receiver. This mouse here may use the unifying receiver. Instead of plugging in different receivers for whatever reason you may need two mouses, they can connect it with two mouses. Or let's say you have a keyboard that uses the unifying receiver, like my keyboard right here. You don't have to worry about plugging in another receiver. You can use that one receiver with multiple devices. That's what's great about this whole unifying receiver technology. Along with that, this Anywhere MX mouse is very portable. You can stick the receiver right there. Your batteries compartment is right there. It simply powers off the device just by sliding this up and down. It uses what's called a dark field technology, which allows you to use this on any surface, basically tracking through glass, etc. Really, really great mouse. really smooth, has great tracking capability, and just really a smooth performance. You know, the laser is really, the dark field laser, really, really great. Along with that, it has the back and forward buttons, a click sensitive, so when I click this mouse here, you can hear that. Oh, I hit the mic there, wow, sorry. You can hear the free spin mode it goes into, along when I compare it to the regular scrolling and stuff like that. So, yeah, this is the MX Anywhere mouse. Do check it out, or the Anywhere MX, either way you want to call it, made by Logitech. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. You got some update for the news. I hope you are enjoying your CES weekend, your week, I should say. I'd love to cover some more news for you guys, so do head over to digitaldojos.com, youtube.com/digitaldojos for your latest technology reviews, and our updates on news, announcements, etc. And of course our tutorials, HD high definition. Do check them out. We also have unboxings and reviews and all of that. Alright, you can find me over at twitter.com/kidgear. You can find my personal channel over at youtube.com/LakerCoolman. With that, guys, I will catch you guys later. I hope you enjoyed the show. Until next week.